Hello, everybody out there in Rumble, X, and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego, and today we're going to talk some more about The Housemaid. The Housemaid, starring Sydney Sweeney and what the hell's her name? Amanda Seyfried. Yeah, and what's his name? The Skellner guy, Brandon Sklenner. Straight off of It Ends With Us, which I reviewed last year. Yeah, he's in this piece of crap movie too. Okay, and yeah, it's directed by Paul Feig. Did I say that right? I don't think I did. Okay, yeah, the gay guy that directed Bridesmaids, and the female Ghostbusters, the girl Ghostbusters, the ugly girl Ghostbusters from 2016. Remember that? Yeah, that's him, Mr. Male Feminist, who apparently, and I read an interview with him, and he got teased a lot when he was a boy, and they for being girly, and they let's just say they mispronounced his name a lot, his last name a lot. Wow. Damn. Okay, yeah, and that's the guy they put in charge of this movie, and so be it. I mean, obviously, I'm not the target audience for this piece of crap. Okay, but I do want to be entertained. I mean, I did pay to go see this movie. I went with someone to go see it. I went with a female. Okay, and we saw this movie together, and she knows that I review movies. And of course, once the movie was over, we talked about it over dinner, and like, she hated it, and I was like, well, yeah, I hated it too. I've seen worse, but it's just the manipulation is just so right in your face. Okay, I mean, you know, the best movies out there are the ones where you can't see the string, you can't see the puppet strings, you can't see it. It's so, I mean, you're so invested into the story, you're not paying attention to the little things. Okay, the inconceivable coincidences. You know, the person always at the right place at the right time. Okay, things like that. You don't see that. Okay, if you're invested in the movie, you're under its spell. You're not paying attention to that stuff. Okay, if they don't get you there, if the movie can't hypnotize you into believing everything that you see, you're gonna start noticing things that the people that made the movie didn't necessarily want you to notice. Okay, and that's when the whole spell comes apart. Okay, it breaks apart, and all of a sudden they say, "Wait a minute here. There's no way that could happen." Okay, well, why would a person do that? Why would a person do that when we know that this person already did that? Okay, things like that. And the entire time I was watching this movie, this kept occurring to me. Okay, from the very beginning. Okay, I was like, wait a minute. Not necessarily a woman. What human being would agree to live in an attic with only one door, one window that you cannot get out of, that locks from the outside? Okay, and this is like a heavy wooden door, like made of oak, okay, into a soundproof room. Okay, but yet our main character Millie sees this, is told that the room is soundproof, so if she was, I don't know, locked in there, there was nothing she can do about it, and nobody would hear her scream. Okay, what kind of person would agree to this? You see, no one would. Man or woman, no one would agree to this. This movie just expects you to, just go with it. No, I'm not going to just go with it. You better give me a damn good reason. Okay, and not because she's afraid of losing the job. Get the hell out of here. There's plenty of jobs out there for ex-cons, okay? Her parole officer can help her find a job. Okay, no, it won't be as a housemaid in a multi-million-dollar mansion, okay, with free room and board. No, it won't be that, but she can get a job doing it. So there's plenty of places out there that'll hire ex-cons. Okay, plenty of places. Okay, no, it won't be some prestigious job, but it'll be something. It'll be something. Okay, until you get you improve your situation in life. Okay, it happens every fucking day. Okay, you cannot convince me that she's going to willingly put herself into a dungeon. I mean, she was just in prison for 10 years, and now she wants to put herself into a prison upstairs from her employer. Are you crazy? No one would agree to this. Like, the safety factor alone. Okay, any parole officer would understand that. Wait a minute, I can't work there. I got to find something. Help me find something else, or give me some time to find something else. Okay, because it's not safe. I don't trust those people. You see what I mean? That's what would happen. That's exactly what happened. You know damn well it's true. If you know, the movie expects you to be in the position of Millie. Okay, because this whole movie's told from her point of view. Okay, until like the end of the second act, it's told from her point of view. Okay, so you basically, the audience is Millie in the beginning of this movie. You're experiencing this world through Millie's eyes. Okay, and a room telling you this is going to be your room that only has one door with a heavy oak door that you cannot break down. It's got scratch marks on it, so obviously someone tried to get out of there at one time. Okay, it locks from the outside. There's no way out of that room. Okay, that would raise red flags in anybody. Anybody. That alone would be like, I can't work here with a room that locks from the outside. I don't feel safe. You see what I mean? That would be anybody. I don't care how desperate the job was. Okay? You wouldn't work if you were desperate for a job, like so desperate, okay? You might like take a job cleaning shitters or something like that. You know, how well, you know, someone's got to do it. Okay? But would you take a job like, you know, I don't know, like working next to a live volcano or something like that? No, you wouldn't. You know, because you're probably going to burn to death. You see what I mean? And that's the situation like this. Okay? You openly willingly put yourself in a situation where you can get hurt or worse. Okay? Tortured. Okay? I mean, the red flags are right there. Right there. This woman doesn't seem altogether. Nina Winchester does not seem like she's got her shit together. Okay, she has violent mood swings. Okay, she doesn't seem to even realize what she's doing. Okay, she hired her. Okay, so that right there should be a red flag because Millie bullshitted her resume. And anyone who did any sort of a background check on Millie would know that everything in her resume was a lie. So that means that when Nina calls her the next day to give her the job, that means that A, she didn't do a background check. So why the hell would you hire someone, okay, to live in your house with your family, with your husband and your daughter, okay, who that you know absolutely nothing about? Because you didn't do any sort of due diligence on who this person was. Okay, that's one. The other one is that you do know what her background is and you don't care. You'll let a murderer into your house with your kid. You freaking crazy. Okay? Now, obviously, the circumstances are different. We find that out later on. But right now, I'm just telling you what the audience sees. Okay? This would never happen. In the beginning of the movie, this would never happen. Okay? This is ridiculous. Okay? It reminds me of this movie I saw several years ago. It's called The Blind Side. You've probably seen it. It's with Sandra Bullock. I think she won an Academy Award for it. It's basically the Hollywood libtard version of what they think Republicans are. Like white, rich, Christian, like what they like to do when they're not watching football is they like to adopt like, black kids from bad neighborhoods who play really good football. Okay, you know, they treat black kids like they're purse puppies. Okay, and one thing that really struck out to me about that movie was how they took this kid who grew up in the ghetto. Okay, apparently the parents here had no idea there was a black ghetto in their city. Okay, they were like shocked when they found out. At 40 years old, Sandra Bullock finds out that there's actually poor black people on the other side, not where she lives, but on the other side of the city. Holy, can you imagine? Like she just lost all of her shit when she found that out. And this black kid, okay, it's from there. This homeless black kid is from there. Okay, well anyway, they take this kid off the streets, this black kid off the streets, and they move him into their house with their teenage daughter and their little kid with no supervision, no background check, no nothing. And they're all okay with it. Like it's a good thing to do. Like, are you out of your freaking mind? I know it's based on a true story, but even the real people in the movie would tell you that's not what it was like at all for him. That movie lied out their ass. Okay? They never ever saw him as a son. They saw him as a meal ticket. Okay? They took him in so that he could get his contract. So he could get, so he gets scouted out by the universities. Okay? And get his pro card. That's what really happened. The movie makes it look like they fell in love with this black kid and just like adopted him and he became part of the family. Get the fuck out of here. Okay? But the movie makes it look, they treated him like a purse puppy. They treated him like, oh my God, look at this black kid over there. Isn't it cute? This black kid that we have. You know, they treated him like that. And this movie's supposed to be anti-racist. Yet it was the most racist crap I've seen. I can't believe the only reason Hollywood allowed it was because they make it look they make it look like they're not racist while winking at you the whole time. You know, this is ridiculous. This is libtard friggin' morality. Okay? And that's what this is here in this movie. Okay? This is freaking ridiculous. Okay, no, it's not plausible at all. Nobody would ever let you do this. Okay, now I understand all fiction is not, all fiction is fake and would never, okay, I get all that. Clearly, okay, you watch Avengers or something and you can, oh yeah, that's not realistic either, but you like that, huh? Yeah, I get it, okay? But this isn't a superhero movie. This is an erotic thriller, okay? It's an erotic thriller. So if you want to immerse us, the regular average audience, into this movie, okay, you've got to outthink what we're going to think. Okay? If we're watching a movie, all of a sudden there's a pink elephant right there, the first thing the audience is like, what the hell is that pink elephant doing in this movie? And if you got no explanation for it, the movie doesn't explain it to you in a believable way, we're not going to believe the rest of your movie. You see what I mean? And that's what's going on here. Okay, there's supposed to be stakes. There's supposed to be like eroticism here, women getting turned on, bondage, abuse, psycho women, okay, dangerous people. All that stuff is supposed to, you know, be mixed up into this juxtaposition, you know, and all through the eyes of this helpless female with big titties. You know, okay, you got me at the titties, but you know, you got me into the theater because of the titties, but now I want to see what's going to happen here. And as sexy as Sydney Sweeney is, and she is sexy. I'm the first one. I'm a man. That's what I give you your straight man's point of view. Okay, Sydney Sweeney is sexy as fuck. Okay, and ladies, the only reason you're hearing so much about her right now for the past year or so, the only reason she's a big deal, she's an it girl right now, is because Hollywood has not given us sexy in a long time. Men, we have not been allowed to have sexy because the feminists, okay, and the gay people that run Hollywood won't let anything in Hollywood get made that would please a man. You see what I mean? That's why Hollywood is going bankrupt. In 5 years, there won't be a Hollywood anymore. There won't. Okay? The theaters are empty. They're empty. Okay, nobody's going to theaters, okay? Because everything went woke. And it went woke over a decade ago. It went woke like 12 years ago. And it never turned back. Even despite the fact they've been losing money every year, it never went back. It never went back to what it was before. And it's never going to go back, okay? Because they won't allow it. The people in charge won't allow it. They won't let a straight, white, Christian man have anything that would please them in a movie. Nothing. We're not allowed to have it. I'm not even white. And I'm not Christian either, but I'm not allowed to have it. You can't have sexy women because that's offensive to ugly feminists. It's offensive. You know, heterosexuality is offensive to Hollywood. Oh, you've had 200 years of heterosexuality in movies. It's our turn now. Okay, but most people are disgusted by that. Okay? I don't want to see a movie with two guys making out. I don't want to fucking see that. I'm not going to spend my money to fucking see that. Okay? Fuck your representation. That don't represent me. I ain't gonna spend my money on that shit. I will spend my money on a hot girl though. You see what I mean? You got my money. That's why this movie's doing so well. Relatively speaking, I mean, as of today, I mean this movie, The Housemaid, is at $247 million, which is chump change for like a big budget Hollywood movie. That's probably their budget. You know, that was the budget for like Fantastic Four or something, you know? The one that came out last year. That's the budget for like Thunderbolts. Okay? That's the budget for Captain America Brave New World. Okay? But here's the thing, okay? This movie only cost $35 million to make. Okay? So once you take the marketing out of that, maybe another 70 million, maybe 100 even. I doubt it was 100 though. Because the only people that want to go see this movie are the ones that read the book. Okay, so like you're probably maybe 50 million. Okay, so that's $85 million they spent to make this thing and put it in theater, and it's at $247 million. So $250 million it made. Okay, $250 million it made. Okay, that's a $170 million profit. Okay, when movie theaters are empty, and this $35 million budgeted movie made $250 million, that is a win. big time. Big time. So you can imagine. So guess what's coming out next year? That's right, The Housemaid 2, Electric Boogaloo. Of course they're gonna, because this movie made a profit, which means that we're gonna see some more Sydney Sweeney. Okay, the last I went over the list already in the introduction video I made, but Sydney Sweeney has had a strong line of flops for the past 2 years. Okay, I think she came out with 7 or 8 movies in the past 2 years. All of them flopped. All of them made absolutely no money. Nobody went to go see until this one. Despite the fact that she was in your face, she was on your social media all the time, her Saturday Night Live performance, okay, her jeans ad that she did, all the libtards went nuts over, because you can't have a sexy woman wearing sexy pants selling jeans, and yet that I forgot the name of the American Eagle, I think it was. Okay, they had a record year last year. They sold so many damn jeans because of that ad with Sydney Sweeney. Okay? You know why? Because she's fucking sexy and we haven't had sexy. Okay? That's why she's doing so well. It's not because she's a great actor. She fucking sucks. Her voice is terrible. She doesn't even sound like a normal woman. Okay? But she looks good. She looks real good. She looks sexy. Okay? And most women out there do not look like her. And deep down, and they know they don't look like her. And that kind of upsets them a bit. That's why she made all those movies where she looks ugly. Because she's trying to get women to watch her movies. Okay? She needs to course correct. Okay? I know she's a feminist. They're all fucking feminists. I get that. Okay? I know that she wants the women's money to go see her movies. Okay? But she's not built for a female audience. She's no Taylor Swift. Okay? Sydney Sweeney is sexy. Men are attracted to her in a way that they're not attracted to Taylor Swift. You see what I mean? She is sexy, and we haven't had sexy in a long time. And I remember when I was a little kid, I saw sexy all the time. Even when I was a little boy, I was turned on by women. I was watching shit that I shouldn't have been watching, okay? I remember like Adrienne Barbeau. I remember her when I was a little kid. I remember I watched Swamp Thing, okay? And she's like, there's like a scene where she's like in the swamp, like topless. And I'm like, oh, I was just mesmerized by her, Last night I went to go see, I took my son to go see 9 to 5. I went to the Alamo Draft House, all right? We went to go see an old movie. It was from 1980. I forgot how old that movie was, okay? But we went to go see 9 to 5 because I remember when I was growing up, my older brother, he used to watch that movie on, we only had one TV, and he watched that movie over and over and over again, 9 to 5, okay? With Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, and Dolly Parton, okay? And Dabney Coleman played the evil boss, okay? Well, I've not seen that movie in 40-something years, but I took my son to go see it. It's PG. I took my son to go see it last night, okay? And, it should have been, Dolly Parton's tits could have been the 4th character, okay? Because clearly those tits were on display in that movie. And I forgot how sexy Jane Fonda was, too. Oh, my God, that slim body of hers. Even through the nerdy glasses and the conservative outfit she's wearing, she's sexy as hell. Now, Lily Tomlin's dog ugly. Okay, she was dog ugly back then too. Okay, but I mean, like Dolly Parton and Jane Fonda, I can have some fun with them. Absolutely. But Dolly Parton's tits, man, there should have been another woman just to be Dolly Parton's tits because they were right there. Okay, and that is sexy. That is sexy. That is what men want to see, and we haven't been allowed to see anything like that in a long time. When was the last time we saw like not a pretty girl, a sexy girl in a movie, a sexy woman in a movie? When was the last time we saw one? Okay, we haven't because we're not allowed. Okay, this woman, Sydney Sweeney, she can raise a dick, and there's plenty of women out there that are better looking and sexier than Sydney Sweeney. Okay. But, Hollywood's not going to allow those ones. They're lucky they got Sydney Sweeney. Okay? Because look at the movies that she was in. Okay? I mean, look at Madam Web. I mean, they made her ugly in that movie. Not ugly, but she wasn't sexy in that movie because they dressed her like very conservatively. They covered her chest. She wore all these layers of clothes. She wore glasses. She walked awkwardly. She wore a long skirt and stuff, so she didn't look sexy in Madam Web. Not the way she looks here. Okay, I mean, her tits are just like, they're like, it's her and her tits together. There's scenes where they're bumping up and down. I feel like I'm watching Three's Company again with Chrissy, with Suzanne Summers and stuff, Anyway, so, and you can't take your eyes off of them. I mean, they're there. They're beautiful. Damn. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting some of that. But, The point is that, she's sexy, and that's what men want, and we're not allowed to have that. Okay, men can't have nice things. They're not allowed to have things in Hollywood, and that's turned off the men. When you turn off half of your population, half of your customer base, you're going to lose money. You're going to lose money, and guess what? Okay, a lot of women like the stuff that men like. Okay, lots of women like Star Wars. They like Indiana Jones. They like Die Hard. Okay, they like that stuff. Okay, but when you neuter that stuff, now even the women won't watch it. Okay, women don't want to see Indiana Jones, where Indiana Jones spends all 2.5 hours with his dick cut off, and some boss bitch telling him what to do and pointing out what a fucking idiot he is. Well, nobody wants to see that. No guy or girl wants to see that. You see what I mean? Okay, and that's all Hollywood's given us. All right. Thank God for Sydney Sweeney. Okay, we got sexy back. Hopefully, we'll start getting some guy movies back real soon. Okay, it won't be for another couple of years. I mean, there's a lot of changes going on. We're still dealing with all the crap that Hollywood was making when Biden was president. We're still dealing through that stuff. Okay, the new stuff, okay, isn't going to come out for another year or two. Okay, so we just got to suck it up until then and put up with all the woke crap that Hollywood already bankrolled. They already did it. They already made it. Okay, they can't just not release it now. They already spent too much money. They can't tax write off everything. So we're still going to get a lot of woke crap in Hollywood. And as long as we do, people aren't going to go to the theaters. It's going to take something major to get people to go back to the theaters, okay? Even this, The Housemaid probably would be better on streaming, I'm guessing, okay? But I actually did go to the theater to see this, all right? So for whatever it's worth, okay? The biggest problem I have with this movie is it's not believable. It's not plausible. There's no verisimilitude. Okay, so much this movie does not make sense at all. Okay, regardless of how hot Sydney Sweeney is, Sydney Sweeney cannot save this movie. Okay, yes, she's hot. Okay, but this script is stupid. And no, I'm not going to read the damn book. I'm going to spend my time reading that crap. Are you crazy? I'm not bad enough I saw the damn movie. Okay, if you cannot communicate the best aspects of the book into your movie, you're a bad filmmaker. You're a bad filmmaker. Okay. All right, so where did we leave off last time? Okay, so so Nina is an ex-con. We don't know what she did yet. She's living in her car. Okay, she's using the public bathrooms, like at gas stations and fast food places. That's where she's using the bathroom. Okay, sleeps in her car. She has a cell phone and stuff. She interviewed for a job as a housemaid in this rich mansion, okay, in upstate New York, okay, for the Winchester family. She interviewed with the wife, Nina Winchester, who's this psycho white woman. Okay, anyway, and so it turns out she gets the job. She gets a call back from Nina Winchester. I'm going to hire you. You got the job if you want it. Of course she wants it. She's broke. She has no money. So she had the $20 in gas money that Nina gave her for going to the interview. She spent that on food because she was hungry. Okay, so, clearly this hot ass bitch with nice titties, okay, gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous woman with nice titties, okay, has to use her last $20 to get something to eat. Are you friggin' crazy? Okay, a woman like that would be at a titty bar making a shitload of money. Even if it was just for one night, she'd make $1,000 easily. Okay, easily. Okay, and then she can go look for her housemaid job, all right? She don't have to fucking live in her car. She can get a nice hotel room, okay? So, no, a woman like that could easily be stripping, okay? And I know I used to work in a titty bar. She walked into my strip club, I would have hired her right on the spot. All right, moving right along. So she drives back to the house. At the gate, she sees this creepy groundskeeper there. He's just like, he looks moody and gives these eyes. And like he's some sort of psychopath or something, but he doesn't talk. He's just there. He's a groundskeeper. I guess he's supposed to be Mexican or something, but the fucker, I looked him up. He's Italian, actually. So, like, what the hell is an Italian doing as a groundskeeper? We all know damn well that only Mexicans do that job. But anyway, so that's going on here. I guess he's playing Mexican or whatever. So that's there. Okay, he doesn't answer her. He ignores her when she tries to talk to him. She tries to get the code to open the gate, but, he doesn't talk to her when she asks him. Millie walks right in. The house door is open, okay? And the house is a shithole, okay? It's not nice and put together like it was yesterday when she interviewed, okay? Nina says that she has to write a PTA speech, so that's going to keep her busy all day. Millie looks, she compliments Millie because Millie's not wearing glasses anymore, So she goes, where are your glasses? She's like, oh, I don't wear them that often. She's like, oh, well, you look better without them. That kind of, the shit that girls talk to each other. Okay, guys don't do that shit. Okay, and she tells you can start right now. You can start cleaning right now. And Nina's like, oh, this is going to be so much fun, Millie. So, yeah, so she's one of those. Nina's one of those overactors, just, likes to scream and animated and shit like a fucking cartoon character. All right. So Millie starts cleaning, okay, with her headphones on and stuff. Okay, when Andrew walks in. Now, Andrew is the husband. He owns this house. Okay, this is Nina's husband. And he comes in with a little girl, okay, a 7-year-old little girl. That little girl's name is Cecilia. They call her Cece in this movie. And that is their daughter. That's what we know the truth later on, but that is their daughter. Okay, 7-year-old Cece. And they just arrive home. Okay, and he seems shocked that Millie would, when he finds out that Millie will, their new housemaid, will be living with them. Apparently, he didn't realize that the housemaid was going to be living with them. Okay, and Nina's like, "Oh, don't you remember? I told you that she would be living with us." Just in her fucking Amanda Seyfried way. Okay, she's gonna be living in the attic room. Remember? Anyway, he brings some DoorDash with him or something or whatever, some carry out, and he offers to have Millie join them for dinner. Millie, this being her first day, she doesn't want to rock the boat. She's a hot woman. Okay, clearly Andrew, the husband, is going to look at her like a woman, not as a housemaid. Okay, that's another reason this movie makes no sense. Nina, why would Nina hire a woman that's hotter than she is to be the fucking housemaid that's younger and hotter than her? Okay, she would have hired some fucking goddamn Pearl from fucking Different Strokes. Okay, or fucking Mrs. Garrett from Facts of Life. That's what he would have hired realistically. Okay, you know why? Because Andrew is not Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, Andrew, only Arnold Schwarzenegger would fuck the ugly maid. Okay, okay, no other straight guy would do that. Right? Okay, so why would you hire? Now later on we find out why, but still, from a plausible read, why the fuck would you do that? Okay, why the fuck would you hire a woman who's better looking than you, younger than you, okay, to take care of your daughter and to take care of your husband, especially when you're not there? This is ridiculous, okay? There's a reason, okay, housemaids are usually older Mexican fat women, okay? There's a reason for that. Anyway, so that's going on here. Like I said, plausibility, okay? So that's going on here, okay? She declines to have dinner with them. Okay, next scene, in her attic room, she's looking around her room there, which is basically a dungeon. It's only got one door. Okay, and which locks from the outside. Go figure. Okay, that raised no red flags at all. Okay, there's a little mini fridge in there. There's 3 bottles of water in there. Okay, in the mini fridge. Okay, now she notices there's claw marks on the door next to the door handle. Okay, so clearly at some point someone was locked in there and tried to claw their way through. Okay, that's not a good sign. That right there should raise some red flags. Like, I should not be working here. This place is dangerous. Okay, first of all, I was told yesterday that this room is soundproof. I already know that I can't escape through the window. Okay, I already know that the door locks from the outside and it's too heavy and big for me to break down. And now it looks like, but I still chose to take the job. And now I know that there's claw marks from the inside of the door, which means that somebody at one point was locked in here and tried to claw their way out. Okay? And yeah, she's still going to take the job. She's still going to stay there. Are you fucking crazy? Okay? Any parole officer that heard this would tell her, no, you need to get out of there. Okay? You can't, that's a dangerous place to be. All right? We all know that, but the movie never explains why she has to stay there. And don't give me because she'll go back to prison or something. I'll rather do 5 years, okay, than fucking be in a house where I'm somebody's prisoner for indefinitely. Okay, that's ridiculous. Okay, all you tell your parole officer, I didn't feel safe there. Okay, I'm gonna need to find another job. Okay, that's what you do. You don't just say, okay, I think I'll just stay here. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. Anyway. That's going on here, okay? She notices the claw marks the door handle, okay? And there's a keyhole for the deadbolt lock on the outside of the door, like I said before, okay? The tiny triangle window that's in the room, the only window in the room, it doesn't open, okay? And Nina walks in, okay, and brings her some food. Nina offers to get a handyman to get the window to open. She's like, "Oh, I'll get a handyman to come over here and fix that window so that you can open it up so you can get some fresh air in here, you know." And Billy says like, "Oh, is that the guy I met out there? You know, is that the handyman that I met out there?" And all of a sudden, Nina's face is like, "No, no, no, no. Okay, that's just the groundsman. Okay, don't talk to him." You know, like that, okay? Like, don't talk to that guy, okay? He's the groundsman. I guess he's like the guy that does like the shrubs and shit, whatever, okay? You know, okay, and of course Millie asks her about the lock on the outside. Can I get a key for the deadbolt on the outside of the door? And, okay, why would you need a key? If it locks from the outside and you're inside, how the fuck are you gonna unlock it? Okay? The movie never explains this. She just asked Nina for a key. That even if she had the key, she wouldn't be able to unlock herself out of the room. So why even bother with the fucking key? You see what I mean? Okay, anyway. So she asked her about that. Nina's like, "Oh my God, of course. What kind of monsters are we?" Like that, okay? The typical fucking telegraphing shit, okay? You know, it's this scene would have been a lot more believable and a lot more scary if she had played it down. Okay? If they'd just been like, you know, "Oh, that's right, of course. How could I forget? I'll take care of that." Right? Like all night. Not this whole big animated cartoon thing. Okay, like, "Oh my God, what kind of monsters must you think we are?" Okay? This ain't a fucking sitcom. You see what I mean? This ain't a fucking sitcom. It's supposed to be an erotic thriller. You know, anyway, so that's going on here, you know. Nina gives her a new phone. She says, "Oh, by the way, here's your new phone. I took away your old phone because it's ancient. And this new phone has all the credit card information on it." And Millie's like, "Okay, no problem, I'll take it." Like with no, like, wait a minute, what about all my contacts and everything, you know? And what about my credit card information? You know, I don't feel comfortable sharing it in a phone where you have access to it. You know, my social media, my contacts, okay, all my privacy. You know, I mean, I'd rather keep my own phone if that's okay. Or at least I'll just use this phone for errands for you, and I'll use my phone for my own personal use. That's what realistically would happen. Okay, but that's not even an option in this movie. Nobody even brings that up. It's like automatically say, "Oh, by the way, I got a phone for you. Here, use it." And Millie's just like, "Okay, no problem." Okay, like what the fuck? Okay? Okay, so this new phone has her credit card. It has the Winchester's credit card information on it that she can use, which is helpful. She can use this when she's shopping for them. That's great, but you know what? That phone can also be fucking tracked. It can also be tracked. So now you're basically living at their mercy in a room that if they chose to, you would not be able to escape from, and nobody would hear you screaming for help. You know, they did not check your background to see what kind of person you are, and they hired you anyway? To be, you know, the fact that you're super fucking hot and sexy, and they're okay with having you live with their little girl and their attractive rich husband, and she's okay with that? You know, this makes no sense. Who the fuck would agree to this? Nobody. I don't care how desperate you need the fucking job. Fucking McDonald's will fucking hire you. You know, so anyway, that's going on here, okay? You know, yeah, so that's going on here. So she offers to get get Millie a lock for the key for the door, okay? And then awkwardly she gives Millie a hug. You know, like, "Can I hug you? Can we be friends?" And all that kind of crap. I mean, I don't believe it. But I guess this movie just wants you to go with it, okay? And that's the biggest problem I have with the movie. They just want you to go with it, okay? The next day, Millie wakes up all frantic, okay? And she can't open the door at first. She tries to open the door, it's closed. And she's like, "Oh no," and it won't open. Okay, so now she feels, oh my God, her fears have come true, okay? She's living in a room that locks from the outside with a door that she cannot open in a soundproof room, okay? So now she starts freaking out, but when she pulls hard enough and the door opens, okay? So she wasn't locked in there, it was just stuck a little bit, okay? She goes downstairs and she finds Nina down there going crazy, throwing shit, screaming, trashing the kitchen, okay? And Millie's like, what the fuck's going on here, okay? It's funny that Millie hears this and goes downstairs, but yet Andrew, okay, and their daughter, Cece, don't hear this and they don't come downstairs to see mom acting all fucking crazy, okay? It's just Millie that comes downstairs first, okay? And now one thing I will say about this scene, because I am a man, yes, we do get a good look of Sydney Sweeney's tits going up and down. She's walking down those stairs, hopping down those stairs. Her titties are hopping too, and it's nice, okay? It's nice. I get my cheap thrills where I can get them. Like I said, we haven't been able to get women like that in Hollywood in a long time. So yes, okay, I'm going to devour her with my eyes, okay? Because they're there, all right? So anyway, that's going on here. Nina starts screaming at Millie about where are her PTA papers. Apparently, that PTA speech she said she was going to write, well, apparently she left it there on the kitchen counter and now it's not there. So she immediately assumes that Millie must have taken them or thrown them out or something. Okay, so she's going crazy. She's blaming Millie for this. Nina's like, I have to get my speech and now I have nothing. And she's just going fucking full on crazy. Okay, think Holly Golightly from fucking Breakfast at Tiffany's. And I reviewed that movie. It's on this channel. Okay, remember that scene where after she got the letter that her brother died, remember how she just trashed her room and shit? Well, that's what's going on here. Okay, she just trashes in the kitchen. Right? Psycho bitch. Okay, well, Andrew arrives. He starts coming down the stairs wearing his, he's got a surgically attached a wife beater that he wears at all times. Okay, during sex, in the shower, whatever, he's got this wife beater that he's always wearing to show off his muscles, his chest and shit. He's got to do that, okay? It's important, okay? So he comes down the stairs, okay? And Nina accuses Millie of throwing out her PTA notes, okay? And she starts throwing shit at Millie, like, what the fuck, all right? Nina says, like, I had to give a speech, but Andrew tells Nina, hey, listen, do you have a copy of your speech, okay, in your computer? Do you have another copy in your computer? And Nina's like, I wrote it down by hand. And then she looks at her hands when she says that, and I guess she chipped some nails or something. She's like, oh my God, my nails! Ah! So she's going all fucking nuts. Okay? And then she collapses onto the floor, all crying and shit. Well, Andrew goes down there with her, starts hugging her. Oh, it's okay, baby. It's all right. Calm down, baby. It's going to be okay. He tries to comfort her. And then he picks her up because, he's fucking big and strong and ripped abs and square jaw, and sweet and kind and deep voice and over 6 feet tall, big cock, ripped abs, everything, okay? And he's fucking rich as fuck, all right? So, yeah, he's got everything going for him, all right? Picks her up. Andrew's like, okay, now here's the plan, okay? I'm going to take Cece to school and you have yourself a long breakfast. And then you can spend the rest of the day working on your PTA speech, okay? Okay, and then you'll make it to your appointment at the salon, okay, to get your roots done, okay? That's the plan, all right? And she's like, oh, God, I love you, I love you so much. That's what Nia said. Then she looks over at Millie and she says, you need to be more careful next time. You ruined my entire day. Okay, and then she walks away. Okay, Andrew's stuck there. Okay, and he looks at Millie. Clearly, it looks like he's really sorry about the way his wife acted, and what his wife just said to her and all that. He apologizes for his wife. His wife's behavior, and he offers to help her clean up. She's like, no, it's okay. I'll take care of it. He's like, well, let me tell you, it'll be better tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow will be better. Okay, that's what he tells us. Tomorrow will be better. Okay, and then that's how that ends. Okay, then Millie notices some creepy, the groundsman, I think his name's Enzo, whatever. The groundsman's out there staring, and just like, all creepy and shit. And she notices him when she goes outside to throw out the trash. Okay, and he actually speaks this time. He says, what are you doing here? And she's like, I work here. And he's just like, and then he looks up, and through the window out there, okay, he sees Nina looking down at both of them. like that. Okay, and he's just like goes back to his job and doesn't talk to Millie anymore. Okay. So all that's going on, okay? All right, now I'm going to stop my review right here, but I'll be back to continue my review of this piece of crap movie. I thank you very much for watching this long, and I will see you soon on the next one. Bye.